here at Eisenhower Park today. Hempstead, family, friends, and believers. It's beautiful out here. Chose Eisenhower Park for the setting. You know what I'm saying? It's a beautiful setting out here. And it's a green scene. It's actually like a Veterans Memorial here. And you know how I feel about us fighting for the United States Army. And we were the target of the United States militancy for hundreds of years here. So it's just a setting. It's a public park, and I actually was gonna go to Kennedy Park or some of the other parks, and him said it wouldn't work out. I'll be sitting in Kennedy Park, Lincoln Park, Raleigh Park, Mitchell Park, and they wouldn't have a conversation. You know, these strangers around, you expect something from them, but our people were all familiar with me and would be like, hey, Aubrey, Brother Muhammad, what's happening? Like, yeah, I'm well and striving. Now, family, please let me know how the audio is going. If it's too loud, it's a concert again going in that other, I don't know, it's like an amphitheater, the small one. That's a small amphitheater. And it's some music. It sounds like some 70s, singing some 70 type guitar music. It sounds good, just listen to it. But it's in the background over there. But it's fine, everything is well. Now today's subject is, let's start a little bit, 6:15, is so be it, be and it is. You know what I'm saying? Because and I have a special guest coming in today. That's my good sister, Sherry, is planning on joining me today. So she'll be in, that'll be good. And also, you know, the title itself is deep. That's a deep title. So be it, be and it is. That's it. I could just leave you with that statement. That's a mantra that you keep focused in the brain. So be it, be and it is. That's the God. That's in the Bible. Be and it is. And so be it. That's Allah telling you. You know, we're here to discuss a healthy self-image, because if you fix your brain to something spectacular, something intense, you know, so be it, be and it is. You could fix your brain to something and it will manifest. So be it, be and it is. You keep that focus and you won't hear and see anything else around you. You know, everything will be like tunnel vision. What's in front of you is that target. So be it, be and it is. You know, manifest what you want. And let it be good and not a luxury, just luxury. Luxury in itself, you know, could be a trap. Remember last session, I mispronounced the word. I said dressings and stuff. The dressings of society is the trappings of society. The trappings of capitalism, excess, lust for things that you don't need. You know what I'm saying? But so be it. Make sure that it's been, you want luxuries and you may want good things. Everybody wants quality. Everyone wants the best in life, because we are the best. We deserve the best. We are the best in Allah's creation. But when you set a goal and an aim and you want something, let it fulfill your purpose in life. And our faith, elevating our people, going after our people who are in ignorance, who have been led astray. You know, we have been dehumanized here. So your personal goal and that personal affirmation, it's like a mantra. That affirmation is powerful. So be it, be and it is. It's phenomenal. You know? And if you just aim at the luxuries of life, you know, that could be a trap. You may want luxury things, the highest quality, the most costly things. You know what a luxury life is. Most of us don't enjoy it. Some of us enjoy a luxury life. Some of us have a luxury life. we're not necessarily enjoying a luxury life because we got a poor self-image. We wanted wealth, but we didn't see the trappings. We wanted luxury. I mean, wealth, riches, and luxury is three different things. That luxury is a serious trap to most people. You know, most people that got that luxurious life, they ain't happy. They have to lie, manipulate most of the time. You know, so when you pray for these grand things, so be it, be and it is. And you want better things in life, have peace in that. Have joy of living in it. Have your faith incorporated into that. You know, have love, have truth, and not just lust for attention and importance. And a wall of Satan. This is Satan's world. You know, you want everything in this life, you can get it for the price of your soul. You know, we gotta stay focused. And let me see, I have my sister here, Sherry. She'll be coming in very, like, I guess within like 15 minutes, half an hour. We're going to be discussing a healthy self-image. You know, that's studying, staying on top of the game. That's loving yourself, wanting good health. You know, you have to study for that, like a fighter. In order to maintain a healthy self-image, maintain your status, to keep a good mental, physical makeup, you have to be like a fighter. You got to train, you got to practice, you got to guard your soul and protect your spirit. And you got to use the energy from your spirit, that intense energy from our spirit is what we fight with. And that intense energy is be and it is. That's going to get us everywhere. You know, and reflecting on things we want in life, you know, why are we where we are in our position and condition in life? You know, because we are not our circumstance, and we are not our environment. We're not a product of our environment. I mean, to keep a focused mind on so be it, be and it is, you got to rise above emotions into the thinking of God, and you can't be distracted by the trappings of this world. You know, why do you want to? What's your purpose? You know, to have attention. That's one of the worst aims you could have. Attention, importance. You can sort of understand that. You know, importance. That's human nature. That's first human nature. Importance. Everybody wants to be important and stuff. Well, most people. We strive for things, but we don't weigh the price we got to pay to get there. You know what I'm saying? And basically, you know, we got to reprogram our thinking. We got to reprogram. We have been programmed with the rubbish and trash of white supremacy. This society has brought the worst out of us. Speaking of native black people, native black Americans, come up in this country hundreds of years, built the country. We even fought in this war. This is a Veterans Memorial. I don't think this is just World War II. I see Vietnam, right, it has POWs, MIA, Omaha Beach. A lot of World War II stuff, though, is around there. But we fought in them wars, too, and we fought for our oppressors. So that we can come home and be segregated, be discriminated against. We weren't fighting for our freedom. We were fighting for another man's elevated state to build a mountain of gold for us. What's our purpose in life? You know, freedom, justice, and equality. That's in righteousness. Nothing is above righteousness. When you have righteousness, you are set. You are set and straight. Because that's your intent. Matter of fact, you could do bad things if your intent and purpose is righteousness. Things may appear as bad, you know, but if you're living in righteousness, you know, your motives and your intent outweigh your actions sometimes. So keeping a good spirit and keeping a good intent, because mainly the information you put in you is what you get out. We need to be reprogrammed. We have a saying, GIGO. That means garbage in, garbage out. In the computer world, what's that? That's data in, data out. What you put in, you get out. You can't put in a half effort. You can't put in low energy and expect spectacular results, grand results, better things in life. Most of that comes from what? Self-discipline. You know? It's amazing the amount of distractions in this society. I mean, look at the neon lights and stuff. I knew that since the 80s. No, the 90s. It was about the 90s. I noticed all the different color lights and stuff. And the flashing lights. That's to gain your attention. People are marketing things to you. You know, when you rooted in yourself, your faith, and you connected with your soul, your spirit is the energy and intensity to get you through and focus. And that so be it, be and it is. That gives you like tunnel vision. All that negative stuff around you, you don't even see it. When you have that focus, that aim, and that purpose towards your purpose in life and grandness and the best in life. We deserve it. And we keep that aim and focus. Nothing can stop that. And the more intense, because I've had those intense thoughts before. I told you that prayer last live. I was under that boiler and at the old Nakasaki's, committing crimes, derivative street crimes. Black people, it's a law. It's against the law for us to be black, and our original nature has been criminalized. Never forget that in society. You know, when you have that focused vision, all the negativity is to your peripheral. It's there. You're aware of it, but you don't let it take you off of your focus towards grand things in your purpose, and that's living in righteousness. You know, it's difficult. Look at this society around us. Look how all the morals are being released. It's a anything goes now in this society. Anything goes. They just slowly crept it in. And the irony is that's how it began. America began as the Caucasian rulers who conquered this nation. They were zealots. Mainly, the first explorers were conquerors, Christopher Columbus. It's still the same mindset, the same energy, the same intent. Europeans. But the founding fathers of this nation, it was zealots. They were ready to sacrifice against the crown. They went against the crown, you know, and they fought so that they could take this land, stay in control of it, and take control of us. They had a plan. They had us as a plan to exploit us, to build a nation. They had the aim to build a nation, a mighty nation. They said it's going to be a nation. And they were determined, and they fought like hell. Revolutionary War. They fought it hard. They were zealots. And what they did was they conquered us. After they took the land, that some of our native blacks were here, they brought us here to build. And they built America into a mountain of gold. And they told all recently, 100 years ago, they told others, come get these pieces. They're distractions. Immigrants are distractions in this country. Native black Americans. We need to unite. We need to focus on elevating ourselves and stop taking the lowly scum of this society, believing that we are hood, we are ghetto, that we are the white man, nigger, and Negro. That's something he made us into. He had a determined idea. He is a zealot. George Washington was a zealot. George Washington was around today, they would call him, he would be a so-called suicide bomber or something. He would kill wrote himself up to go kill others. They were determined to master this, subdue us. Not Allah permitted. He used his permissive nature. Permissive will. Excuse me. His permissive will. You have an active will and permissive will. Some things he actively do, some things he permit. And the permit mainly is right in your purpose. You can take our will and submit it to Allah's, and we will fulfill our purpose. And it ain't white supremacy, because he had the power. Caucasian people in this nation had the power that no other people had to make a man. So be it. Be and it is. That's what he said. Let us make man. He went. And what did he do? He elevated himself in false doctrine, and he made a nigger and a negro. He took original black people, and we were diverse. We were native here. Warrior spirits, we were spiritual people. We were very connected to the planet, to nature, to the cosmos, that cosmic energy. We were all connected. We knew the cosmos. We knew the precession of equinoxes. We knew the weight of the earth, the size of the earth, every last square inch. That was Allah that went around the world like that, building civilization. We were the fathers of that. That's be and it is, civilizes. We built civilization, spread it around the planet. We knew the earth. And that zealotry, you know how zealous you have to be? The type of energy and spirit you have in you to want to go into new worlds. That's phenomenal. I said new worlds, not opportunity, not opportunities. I'm going just for the opportunity. But to see and discover what is new. Well, God ain't nothing new under the sun. Us is all here. But then we're given enough space and light to work out this field. And that field is a grand field. And that the greatest discovery is something within yourself. And that's mainly your fault, overcoming your faults, your weaknesses, your lack of focus. And taking those faults and say, I'm going to take corrective measures here. And these corrective measures, it's difficult, it's painful. You got to face yourself. You know your mind. We don't know your mind. You know. And Allah knows. The angels know. And the Christ knows. And take that mind and focus it towards grand achievement of elevating our people. We weren't taught that. We were taught to be other than ourselves, to live outside our natures, and turn our natures topsy-turvy inside out. So the greatest discovery we have to do with the zeal like them founding fathers. That was some great zeal. We have greater zeal examples around the world. That's an immediate one that we know, that I'm using as an example. And Veterans Memorial. And that theme around here just has that on my mind right now, to be a fighter. There's only a nigger and a negro. The white man nigger and negro. It's the only nigger and negro. It's the white man nigger and negro. Only a nigger and negro would fight for our oppressor and master to make life better for him. Remember Roots? When LeVar Burton and I forgot the actor fiddler name. That was LeVar Burton. He was playing Toby and Kunta Kinte character. That was Force in the Toby. And I think that was Morris, I forgot the actor that played Fiddler. And it was independence. It was the 1776, the war I'm talking about, the Revolutionary War. And Fiddler, he came in the hut, Slave Row. We live in miserable Slave Row, man. in the house, it looked you had more trappings and dressings and the house Negro. Come on, than you did in the field, but it was real in the field. That's where the bulk of us spent our time. And Kunta Kinte, I believe he had been broken into Toby by then. And Fiddler came in. Morris Garrett, I forgot his name. The name evades me right now. Fiddler character. famous actor of ours, beautiful brother. He came in the hut and he was happy. he said, I'm so glad that white folks is free. He said, I'm so glad white folks is free. Kunta Kinte was questioning him, man. That was LeVar Burton, the young Kunta Kinte, Toby, broken in Toby. And he said, free about what? We ain't free. But that's our mind. We fought in World War II. Tuskegee Airmen. That was us. We were supreme fighters. And you see, this is why they subdued us. This is why they broke us. They broke our mentality. Because when left alone, we accept. We take our energy. What happens to us? Speaking specifically to Native Black Americans, this happened to us. We were in the lowest condition of anyone on the planet. We were broken down to the worst condition that anyone on this planet suffered. And it messed us up. It turned us against each other. Divide and conquer. Gave us chants and mantras to say to each other. And reinforcing that poor self-image and inferiority complex. A nigga ain't nothing, never was nothing, never will be nothing. Colorism. If you're black, get back. If you brown, stick around. If you yellow, you mellow. If you white, you all right. We still say stuff like that. This is who my message is to. Our people suffering this poor self-image. And we may not say it like that, but we got iterations. Just go Google light-skinned black people, dark-skinned black people. And go look at the conflict we in, especially around the world. We had it here, but it was, we were more together as so-called dark-skinned and light-skinned, and because the racism was so intense. The line was cut, so racism was cut, the line, was so thick, you could cut it through the air. Racism in America, the hatred against black, the dehumanization of black, they grouped us all together. So we suffered a lot. He only had semblances of relief by his children, the slave master's children, being mixed with him. So-called mulatto. He gave terms to it, mulatto, because he didn't want to humanize us. Octoroon. Some other, I forgot the other name. Mulatto, Octoroon, a few others, I think. All type of stuff he made up to classify himself as white. So we was pretty much put together, but mainly our teaching to be a black American. Even the Christianity gave us was a slave version. They were Masons and Shriners, George Washington and Thomas Jefferson. They were Masons and Shriners. You couldn't even own slaves unless you were in a secret society initially, because they had to dehumanize us. And they didn't want nobody giving us knowledge, a self to make us their equal, because he knows with the proper knowledge we accept. Look at the Tuskegee Airmen. They deprived us. They treated us like hell in that training session. Go watch the Tuskegee Airmen, not the George Lucas one. I said Red, the George Lucas movie about the Tuskegee Airmen. It's called Red something. And he sort of whitewashed it. But it's an original Tuskegee Airmen that's very good. I watch it all the time with Lawrence Fishburne. And our brother from other few good actors in there. But it's the one with Lawrence Fishburne. And it's literally called Tuskegee Airmen. That one is a lot better. What the hell they put us through, man? You know what I'm saying? Even in the armed forces, they treat us poorly. Don't you know West Point had a brother up there named Flipper, a black man. One of the so-called first blacks in West Point. His name is Flipper. They mistreated him like dirt, scum of the earth. That brother had to be strong. He had to be focused. Going training to fight for our enemy and oppressor. It was overt to just do it. He did it. But he's brilliant enough to craft it in the teachings and the education that he's a good man. and everything good comes from him. Everything bad is you. Don't you think we need a restructuring? We need a reevaluation, and we need a retraining. Our minds need to be renewed. We need a reset button from that because we still suffer. You know what I'm saying? And even that selfishness we talk. Don't do nothing for yourself, only others. Do something for yourself and don't care about others. I don't know what I was thinking about that. Only care about yourself. We love that mantra. We will chant that mantra as a way of life. Selfishness. So something got to be done to undo that. We need a training. We need a way to renew our minds and cultivate ourselves into our natures. Well, what is that? Is that nature? That's originality. That is Islam. That's a connection with the God. Stop thinking for lust, lowly, the lower self. You know, our lower values, lower morals. We have to have higher, elevated thinking, and that is godliness. That's original truth and love. That's where the focus need to be. Because our people that are suffering that, we can't escape that. You know, that's really the Achilles heel. The Achilles heel of us in America, black people in America. We think we can escape being associated with our people. We think that our status will change with an increase, saving up some money, moving in a better neighborhood, having the luxuries and trappings of this life, that we somehow escape. James Brown called it escapism. This escapism is our Achilles heel. You can't escape because the broader society, Caucasians, they always gonna associate us with each other. They act like they treat you differently, but they do not. In essence, they group us all together. You can't escape. You must face going after our uncultivated people, our miseducated people. It's sad how we embrace our miseducation. You know, the way I even have to have this talk, being positive, aiming towards things. Why do we commit crimes, street crimes? It's derivative crimes. It's not crime. Nobody wants to be poor. The poor don't choose to be poor. That's a lie. The poor don't choose to be oppressed, living in a miserable condition. The poor, you are poor, and in this bad condition because you trust white people, Caucasian people, and you trust rich people. And you trust this sellout buffer group of black Americans in politics and in the church and in government and in institutions and corporations. They're sellouts if they don't redirect energy towards elevating all of our people. You rise no higher than the lowest of our people. I'm going to say that again. We rise no higher than the lowest of our people. There is no escaping that. And when you elevating our people, they're in the mud. That means they're in the lowliness of their own mind, the darkness of their own mind. The only light they see is what the enemy give us, man, this miseducation. Thinking that everything this man produced, he did it first. Look at these monuments around. Let me spin this around. Let me show you what's going on around. Let me show you. This is a Veterans Memorial. That's the Vietnam one. They have actual, you see that? Actual gunnery, tanks and stuff like that as memorials around here. Let me just give you a little quick view. The Korean War, they have, that was Vietnam, and this is mainly the Veterans Memorial, mainly Civil War, the Vietnam War, yeah, all the veterans. It literally memorializes all veterans of the American wars. And in these memorials, these statues, all across America, I gotta get some water because I'm fasting again. This is my every weekend, I got to knock down this pandemic belt. I went almost 200 pounds. I hope I'm down now. I don't have a scale to measure, but you can see how my face is leaning up again, nice and good. I started getting a chubby face. Excuse me. You know, and excuse me, dude. Pretty hot out here. But I came out into the shade because if I sit in the sun doing this, forget it. I wouldn't stop drinking water, and I would get all dried out, especially when I'm fasting. I'm doing a 48-hour fast where I don't eat food. I just drink coffee and water. And now that's discipline. That's self-discipline and focus. You know, I'm focusing not towards my next meal, but I'm purifying myself, going through a little fire, you know, and I'm actually a little cool. When I fast and your body is not digesting all that food, your body actually cools down, because that blood is the greatest utilizer of blood in the human body, the human system, is the brain and the digestive system. Those are the number 2 utilizers of the blood in your system. And you know, if you're running a house that has an air conditioner upstairs, and it has like a what else is that? Like a washer and a dryer in the basement. And you notice sometimes the air conditioner be on, and let's say the air conditioner lights, because that's usually how it happens. You can literally see it all the time. If you have on the lights and the air conditioner, they take it up, they vying for electricity. And you notice when that air conditioner kicks in sometimes, the lights go dim. Well, so it is with blood in your body. When you got food in your stomach, your system sends blood to go digest that food. And so it takes away from the brain. It draws from the brain. So when you're fasting and there's no matter in your stomach to digest, no food, those enzymes are relaxing, taking a break. Them powerful enzymes we got in the digestive system. When you're not processing, which is junk food anyway, a lot of these GMOs is bad food. This is unnutritional food we have around us, you know, anyway. But when you are digesting, you take away blood from the brain. But when there's nothing to digest, your brain is free to utilize more blood, think more, to be more open. That's why when you're fasting, you have that clearer thinking. You know what I'm saying? This clear thinking, literally, is the essence of focus. Clear thinking, an uncluttered mind, clear thinking, focus, get us everywhere. Yeah. And it's mainly the essence of success, focusing on something. I look forward to seeing you on the next live, my sister. We'll be together and we'll do a healthy self-image. And I'll continue this because we had a poor self-image, you know, and that came, and that teaching was so ingrained in us, we embraced it. It became subtle. And let me know if that music is too loud in the back. That you hear that? Oh, rock and roll. Before it was just singing with the guitar, and I didn't put in all the bands and everything. Let me know if that's drowning me out. It should be. Y'all should be able to still hear me with that in the background. Not next time. I'm just gonna have to go further off into the greenery. But it's beautiful out here. You know, we need to get out to parks, go out to parks and the family, have a good chat time. You know, take a relief off. You know, the regular regime, doing the same old thing becomes repetitive. You get tired. Go into a nice big park that has diverse activities and things. And And I specifically said I couldn't do this today in Kennedy Park or Lincoln Park or the Hempstead Parks, because forget it. All the people walking by, they would come over. It would be kind of, how do you say that is? Not intrusive, but I don't have the permission to record it and stuff like that. And it would be, but in some meetings would be awkward or something like that and stuff. And I would have to literally do something like that. I'll do that one time. I'll just do getting around in the park, talking shop with brothers and sisters, and that would be, nice. But this park is a big one, but in Hempstead, we need more cultivation and more activities. We have some things in Kennedy Park, but almost nothing in Lincoln. Mitchell Park is nothing to be spoke of. We need more broader activities to keep us active and, to take the relief off the stress. That's what pools do. Pools in the summer, that's why we have all these. I think in 2018, none of the Hempstead schools were open. The Hempstead pools were open. We only have 3 of them, I think. Kennedy and I can't even remember the other one. The Hempstead High School has a pool, and I think it was the summer of 2018 or the summer of 2019. None of the pools were open. And in pools, they relax you. They take a lot of stress off. You never hear of us doing shootings at pools. If we actually swimming in it, we hanging out, partying, barbecue on the deck. They have that stereotype about us that we don't swim. I don't know, back in the 80s, that's all we did was swim in the pool and stuff. And you never hear of us having shootouts in the pool because you relax. That swimming in that water, and to have no pools and more water activities like that, just builds up that stress. And this is being done on purpose, intentionally. They treat us like the scum of the earth in this society. Everything they aim for us be at the bottom. The garbage, the bottom, inferior, and underclass. That's how they aim us. And we have embraced it as a way of life and as the education. And you can't even argue with educators. Educators will argue with you. I'm doing a good job. They think that their aim should be is to perfectly get perfect attendance and get perfect graduation for being miseducated. Look at the Hempstead High School. They say, oh, I graduated this many. You should give me an award certificate. Give me a round of applause. Well, what's our children's science and math scores? How do they rate there? Black children, native black children. What is our achievement and accomplishment towards coming back into the community and civics and proper education? You know what I'm saying? Growth and entrepreneurialism, cultivation. You don't even hear this language in the school. Poor self-image, healthy self-image. Because it's poor self-image, people that are miseducating you. So when we embrace that as a way of life, little child walking by, nice and cute. When we embrace that as a way of life, you think that this is wrong. There's a method to your madness. Just because it's a method, we think is right. Just because it's a system, we think that's the system to go. Just because we believe it's a path set before us, we believe we should take it because it's the path of least resistance. They have set a way for us that have under-aimed us. We have suffered the most during this pandemic. The last 2 years, we got hit the hardest. In billionaires and oligarchs and the wealthy, they accumulated wealth. I think 40% of their wealth increased. Why? Because they repeat the mantra, so be it, being it is. They know what they want to be, masters of us. They on the top, we on the bottom. And the problem is we got that buffer class that keeps convincing us that this poor self-image is the way of life. This way niggas always gonna be. This Negro ain't gonna do nothing. And you go amongst our people, that suffer this poor self-image. When you say, look, I have higher ideals, higher goals, they think you bragging. Matter of fact, my sister Sherry just put that on her Instagram. She was quoting her Drake. Drake said, be careful about sharing your goals with people around you, things that elevate you, take you to a higher level, that escalate you. People around you with a poor self-image think that's bragging. You think she's better than us. That is a disease. We literally used to say that. Oh, he's speaking. When you speak proper English, you should know a couple of languages. We should know some so-called African languages of our native tongue. We should know Arabic. We should know Chinese. We should know Spanish and English, and we should master English. This should be taught to us. Our nature is telling us this. This is why we spoke Piglag. We made up a language. Piglag. It took a while for people to catch on to that. With them oligarchs and the masters of this society that have the common man fighting for them. All of these wars are unnecessary. Nobody threatened America. Only nation that ever attacked America was Japan. That's the only nation that literally have ever attacked America. Well, initially, America was colonized Europeans. So they fought the British to become no longer subjects, paying taxes, to be independent. But other than that, nobody attacked America. America had the most bases around the world, and is the world's #1 troublemaker. The CIA, they start wars, foment wars, overturn leaders, assassinate leaders, disrupt people, disrupt nations, throw on sanctions. None of these nations have attacked America. America have undermined them, and they have uncovered it. And usually they deal with those spies and those agents and those turncoats and those traitors in fifth columns they catch in their country, and they punish them. Then America goes in after them. But the first thing they do is they gain the public approval. They they turn their targets into the boogeyman. And the black man and woman in America, specifically the black man, has always been the boogeyman in America. We have always been the boogeyman. American theater, American arts, even toys and games were made to humiliate and mock us and make us inferior. Excuse me for this water. You know, those masters, oligarchs, the bankers, the rulers, they are focused. So be it, be and it is. They repeat it. And the end of that aim is to keeping us at the bottom. So we're breaking from their teaching. We're breaking from the arena they set up, that we're operating within the arena and within the system. That is diabolical, man. It make you think that you can just move into another neighborhood and it's good. Go to a so-called better school. Well, why is it better? Because he miseducated you. Woodrow Wilson said that outright. We're gonna have 2 forms of education. One for the elite, one for the inferior class. Are they teaching us this in school? Why is this even in my discussion? It is in my discussion because our people have been conditioned to it. When you're in they have a saying that a wolf that is caught in a cage, is caught in a trap in a cage, will try to break out. Wolf got that powerful spirit. I got a wolf spirit. Wolf, the Native American wolf, will chew off his foot to escape a trap in a cage. And he'll try to get out of cage. A natural wolf. But if that wolf was pregnant and has cubs, and them cubs come up, those cubs will be less likely to try to escape that cage. Why? Because they were born in the environment, conditioned by it. So that's why being focused on rising above emotions and understanding that we are not our circumstance, and we are not a product of our environment. That take tremendous energy. That energy, that's cosmic energy, that's birth energy. That energy, that's original, that's truth and love. And you got to be rooted in truth and love. You just can't have love. Love is an emotion. It got to be balanced. You know, when you have that original thought to get better things, to do more, even in elevating our people. When we elevate our people, we can't be so above them. Come be like me. No, when you're lifting up someone out of the mud, you gotta get down in the mud to lift them up, to raise them up. You know, where's the memorial for that? Where's our memorials? That's why I shout out to my good brother Tariq Nasheed, who's building a foundation of Black American Museum in the West Coast, on the West Coast. I think Los Angeles, he was trying to get it in a certain area. And I believe they were blocking him and giving him obstacles and barriers. It fits the nature of Caucasian people and rulers of this country to do this to us. And we should study, and we should support that brother and get another one here in New York, right in Hempstead, to build for our own. You know, when you have that energy to start building, you memorialize yourself to make things important to you. So be it, being it is, what do you have in your brain all day? What is your focus? And why? Get what you want personally. You know, personal achievement, take care of you first. That's the truth. That's right. You cannot help anyone else unless you help yourself. And you rise no higher than our people. So when you help yourself, never let it puff you up enough. Think that we're better than the lowest of our people, because we rise no higher than the lowest of our people. That's our people who have bought this nightmare. It's not an American dream. You got to be asleep to believe a dream. It's a nightmare to us, because this is the reality that white supremacy is detrimental and hostile towards our nature. And it has taken our nature and turned it topsy-turvy, inside out, upside down, and turned it against us. Divide and conquer. This ought to be on the curriculum. The aim of elevating our people. When we get them up out the mud, then you turn to the one behind you and elevate them. Each one teach one. Okay, you up in the luxury, you up on the hill. Don't you know that Black American billionaires, we got a couple, I forgot the little number, keep increasing, Black American millionaires have less community value than a vendor in Hempstead, making his own products, producing his own products, reselling them, vending them, marketing them with his family. That vendor have greater community value and more power than a Black billionaire and a Black millionaire. Because that Black millionaire and that Black billionaire can be easily targeted and picked off when you're out on your own, out somewhere. They can easily do that. And we see it happening all around us all the time. BET, all the Black things we had, Fat Farms and Def Jam, and all our Black magazines, Black hair care products. Everything Black was eventually taken from us. BET is not owned by us anymore. Yet we watch the awards, we take so much pride in a poor self-image. People are just not healthy self-image people. You may have personal development. You may have seen a psychiatrist, you may have went to a better school, but you were a Caucasoid. That Caucasoid teacher, it don't go into your nature. Because if it did, the first thing you did would turn back towards our people. So let's get our people up out of that. Even Donald Sterling said that. Remember Donald Sterling, the owners of the LA Lakers, some basketball or football team, I think it was, and he had a sugar baby. He was a sugar daddy to some girl that he's paying money and to be a concubine and to be a mistress and to be a side piece, whatever, some young girl. And she recorded his racist rants against Magic Johnson. Remember that? Donald Sterling, the owner of one of them teams. I forgot, football or basketball. And the people were not even angry at Donald Sterling for having a mistress, cheating, committing adultery, cheating against his wife. with a concubine, they were mad at him because he said the N-word. You know, that's kind of interesting. But it's interesting what he said. What he said was, Jewish people go after poor Jewish people and raise them up. Jewish people go care about other Jewish people and lift them up and elevate them. And they go after their brethren. But black people, we don't. After we get that escapism, you know, we come up with every excuse. Oh, I'm glad I got away there. Got away from them. We say it, but away from them niggas. Most of that stuff is engineered. Remember blockbusting? When they would take one black family and move us into a white neighborhood, and that whole block would move. It was called blockbusting. It was right out here in Long Island, especially Levittown. They had it in their deeds. In the what's the house ownership papers? I think it's the deed or something. The lease or the deed to the home. Yeah, it would be in that paperwork. Do not sell to Negroes. Some of them said Jews, but most of them, and some of that is still on paperwork to this day. They, Jewish people, will elevate their own, go after their own. Yet in this same school system, public school system, they will teach us not to go after our, not to come back into our community, to raise each other up, to go after our people. And they condemn in the American media, this American system, and politicians condemn black organizations, black nationalist organizations that do go after our people. They call us haters, anti-Semites, because we have one thing in common. We vocalize and verbalize thing against this engineered undermining of us. But when blacks do it, they say, oh, you're anti this, you're divisive, stuff like that, you know? So when we go after our people and elevate them, you know, don't ask for anything in return. When you give a gift, don't ever mention the gift, just give it. Don't ever loan anything. That's why the economy of this society is so, in this world, is so backwards and hard, because it's usury, it's debt, it's interest. That usury and interest is a killer. You know, when we elevate our people, give all praises due to Allah. Give thanks and praise. Thank you, Allah, for elevating my brother. Now we together, we're brothers, we're elevated. We have increased community value. And don't hold it against them. Oh, I looked out for you. I gave you the loan. You paid me back. But you want them to mention it every time someone speaks he speaks to someone else. You want him to mention it about you. You know? Be humble and be grateful for what we have, and be compassionate. And don't hold grudges against each other. When you give, when you help a person out, giving them in money, whether it's a place to stay, whether it's food, you know, don't use it as leverage. Don't use it as a car, a hidden car. I see the sun is coming out over here. That's good. I only got like 15 more minutes. And but I'll continue this in part 2, because I'll work out the technical difficulties I have with my sister Sherry. It's just that picture came up. I'd love to get her input into what's happening. Or if that doesn't come through, I'll definitely do a Zoom. So stay focused on my page. Later in the week too. I'll do it later in the week, and then next weekend. That'd be nice. Getting out to a nice place, you know what I'm saying? But you know, this is food for thought, y'all. But this is a powerful mantra and chant. So be it, be and it is. Say that. And be well intended. Have a good spirit. And have our purpose in there. Have faith. Have humility. And keep that focus for whatever you want. Some people don't want luxuries. Some people don't want good health. Some people, they have that meme I used to see on social media. A person that goes after wealth, you know, for happiness, winds up with bad health, and they got to take all their wealth to spend on doctors. The kid, you know, not sleeping and stuff. I be doing overnights and stuff. Doing paperwork for my mother. You know, she's 80, legally blind, feeble health, and she needs help to get around to do most things. I'm actually one of her home health aides over at the Avalon. She's in a bad situation over there. The owners of Avalon are diabolical, you know, and they do exactly what I'm speaking about. That engineered displacement. Remember I said the block busting and how you get to a white neighborhood on one block, they would let it go. Well, in black neighborhoods, when they want to take over the neighborhood and gentrify it and bring back in the gentry, so-called upper class, Caucasians and others and stuff, they send in our own people. They pay them. Some of them they entrap them. Some of them they pay them to go into apartments. This is happening at 150 West Columbia. The Madison Monroe buildings, them used to be nice buildings. Now they just got homeless in there, hanging out, using drugs, acting other than ourselves, man, being rowdy. People pay good money to be there. We got to, folk, but this is done. And this is done, this door is open, and the vacuum is open. And this in many areas. It's happening to my mother, to Avalon. They're moving out of there for displacement, for rent increase. They increased the rent to $3,800 a month for a 2-bedroom at that place. So it's so obvious, so evident what their intentions are. And that apartment right above her, apartment 518, just trouble. It's been like 8 different people up there over the last 11 years. She's been there 11 years. It's been like 8 different people in there. All of them trouble, nuisance, mischief, unnecessary noise, late night and during the day, making her life miserable to get her to move. And they say, oh, well, 8 different people. That sounds like the mom, just can't take the noise, even when that apartment is unoccupied. People go in there within a day and night, teams of someone going there day and night being nuisance. When the apartment is unoccupied, maintenance going there, but late at night, people in there banging and thumping around and stuff, being mischievous, banging on her outside wall, coming down the stairs like that. That is engineered. Owners, wealthy people who want to manipulate populations, they do this. It's called displacement. And they get our own people. Sadly, they pay them, or worse, what they do very often, go watch Judas and the Messiah, the story of Fred Handel. They entrap our people. They set our people up. They catch them doing a crime. They say, we're going to give you 20, 30 years in jail if you don't cooperate with us. Okay, I want you to here to go and cause this mischief. I want you to go in here playing loud music, selling drugs, shooting, a lot of shootings, a lot of violence, especially in Chicago. It's orchestrated. It's engineered by the deep state. These are the wealthy oligarchs to keep us divided and conquered, to keep us nomadic. All that entrapment. They used to do that for decades to us. Some undercover cop acting drunk and homeless and have a gold chain around his neck, going to sleep on the sidewalk. And then when a black man minding his business, he could be going to a job interview. We could be struggling. You could have been, ain't no telling what, you could have been going to school. You could have been going to better yourself. Trying to improve your relationship. Ain't no telling what you were doing that day. You walking down the street and now you see an opportunity. It looks like an open opportunity. It's an entrapment. It's some undercover cop with his wallet hanging out his pocket, or some gold chain hanging, and money. He's been doing this for decades. As soon as you go and you take the thing, the police come out from everywhere and they got you. Remember, they do this, they show it on TV. They used to do this a lot. Remember that car, trap car, something like that? They take some car that's fixed, leave it running in a depressed area, in an impoverished area, knowing people struggle and don't have the mindset to unify, to put our money together, to do things for ourselves, to trust each other, to build better, because we trust this wicked ass system for our jobs, for our food, for our miseducation. We trust them for law enforcement, for governance, It's all a trap. You could have been minding your business. Now you're in jail and you're compromised. Imagine if they do that with a lot of money, or some illegal like drugs or guns, or some scheme, some quick scheme. They entrap them. And once they get them, you say, well, what type of person would do this evil to our own people? You know what I'm saying? Somebody that have their self-interest at heart. Somebody who's facing 20, 30 years. Go watch Judas and the Black Messiah. That's the story of Fred Hampton. Some of those police agents and undercover imps and stooges and troublemakers in the Black Panther Party came from the Nation of Islam after they divided Malcolm and the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Well, Malcolm from the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Some of them came in the Black Panther. And some of them are in our black organizations to this day. We've documented that. COINTELPRO. And this society is so driven, and the Caucasian people, you know, it's just so, it's their nature to keep us in this lonely position. If you notice, we've never had no whistleblowers about these diabolical plans. They say, well, why haven't I heard of them? We got one case of whistleblowers for Black America. Excuse me. I think it was a socialist that snuck in an FBI office. They broke into an FBI office and they went in the files and they got them files. Those resultant files were COINTELPRO, the FBI, and also the CIA. The FBI does things, you know, to survey you, to undermine you, stuff like that. But when they want to assassinate you, eliminate you, the CIA is involved. That's their trained killers. They get them from all around the world. Immigrants are some of the worst stooges and agents and underminers in America. They get immigrants because it's easy for immigrants. All they have to do is threaten them. We can send you back to the country. And they think they're doing something good. They think that this system is so big. America, you know, it's a what you call that? It's like a magical land. America is a mountain of gold that they got from stolen land. They stole us to build the land and take it and accumulate. America got the largest gold reserve in the world. 8,100 something tons. A ton is 2,000 pounds. That's a lot of gold. World's largest reserve. And America seemed like the superpower, the last superpower, the big behemoth. You know those biblical descriptions of things. The Towers of Babylon and the great civilizations that nobody could touch. God got to humble them. Well, immigrants see America as a land of opportunity, but they don't see how diabolical it is. It undermines their country. Most immigrants that come to America, country is destabilized and undermined by the CIA. The CIA in America have undermined more countries around this planet than any other. Troublemakers by nature, mischief, assassinating these people. Down in Cuba, they tried to assassinate Castro hundreds of times. I forgot that. And then people come here and they think, oh, look around you, man. Look at this greenery. Let me give you one more scan. This is the memorial. You see? Look at this greenery. How manicured everything is. How polished things are. How nice things look. You know, a memorial to America's so-called greatness. It's great, but it's wickedly great. So the immigrants come here thinking, oh, I'm going to do good. Now people thinking, oh, I want to do better. And you get in that trap, and it gets you to do the most devious stuff. And we got to consider this. Many of us don't. This is shocking to our people. We cannot fathom that it's people that, just common people around us, being manipulated and engineered to facilitate mayhem and mischief, and even murder people. Diabolical like that. That's the greatest society. Getting back to that, so be it, be and it is. That's the focus. It gets us through all of that. You know that saying, no weapon formed against the righteous shall prosper. When we're rooted in faith, that energy is magnificent because the devil wants our energy, our spirit. And we as Black Americans, we give it to him. We have given him everything. Dang. Woo! We are the soul of America. Our spirit and energy, it's just all the things they did. They robbed us of it and then denied that we did it. All those patents, inventions. At the turn of the century, that was all us. After we built them all black towns, we did all that. And they robbed us of everything. Taking our possessions, then put it in our psyche that if you got possessions, don't accumulate too much. You were better with nothing. We long had held that belief. That's right. My brother, my rump, made that comment. I remember that. Yeah, that was the entrapments, the sneaker trucks. They would put a tractor trailer they're diabolical. They would take a tractor trailer full of sneakers, Air Jordans, and in the back of the tractor, the front of the tractor trailer part would be a secret hidden compartment where it'd be police up in there. And then they would leave, the truck driver would act like he broke down. He would go take the lock off the back and it would be unlocked. In a thirsty hood, an economically depressed hood, an undermined hood, a devitalized hood, full of poverty and derivative street crimes. And the key word is derivative, because it's not organic crimes. We don't want to be criminals and impoverished. So we see a tractor trailer full of sneakers. So we go in there, start taking them. Then they wait for more people to come in. They try to get as more people as they could to come on the tractor trailer. And they slam the door. And there's police in the back arresting them. The whole society is a trap. So focused thinking, so be it, be and it is, will get us past that. All that could come against us. Everything. That's right. Nothing. It's like a laser. A laser cuts through everything. It's like a plasma cutter. Plasma is a fourth form of matter. It cuts through everything. We got to be focused like that. And we got to come into this with a fighter spirit. You know what I'm saying? Keep us to protect our soul. And that energy, that original truth and love energy, we got to protect it like a fighter. We got to use that energy in the fight to work through. Keep a good spirit. Keep genuine intent. Be humble. When you do something for someone, don't do it just for attention, for validation. You know, do it to be genuine, to genuinely help that person. Don't ask for anything in return. You shouldn't even loan money. You should just give money. If you got it, just give it. Don't loan. It's best, because don't you know a lot of these beefs, these broken up relationships is over money. You don't loan someone money and they don't you know that's a person that needs money is not disciplined enough to save money, to go into your own savings. That's where the extra money come from. So if you're that wasteful, and you know we front when we need money, we always come up with an excuse. This circumstance came up. No, you wasn't disciplined. You wasn't disciplined with your money, allocating where most of your income goes. 10% saving, 10% investment, 20% entrepreneurialism. Self-business or whatever, education or something like that. Always plan for safety. Because look how they fix the inflation now. You don't plan, you just go spending paycheck to paycheck, exhausting your means. Now this inflation comes, it's harder. And most people can't go without it when you get in debt. Do things to be well intended. And don't look for validation. Validation is you use money to buy love. It don't work like that. I remember 50 Cent, he was doing a special. He was walking some reporter on his property, and he had a pond. That's a big pond behind me over there. No, it's over there. The pond. And he had a little small pond, a little bridge over it, and he was throwing bread. He was making a lesson that was obviously taught to him. by someone wise. He was throwing the bread, and the fish were coming up to the surface and eat the little crumbs. And he were attracting the fish to him. It's like the chicks are attracted to the farmers with feed. And as he was tossing the little crumbs, he said to the reporter, "Look, they love me. Look, they love me." The fish don't love him. Them fish were hungry. Them fish were thirsty. 50 knew that he was just making a lesson. He was making a lesson to that reporter. Money cannot buy you love, nor validation. Genuine concern, genuine intent. So be it, be and it is. You repeat that naturally, being well intended. Do it in everything, all good things. Just focus on it, man. It'll be like tunnel vision. Everything, I hope is good that you want, will come in due time. And the quickest way, and a shortcut to get everything that we need is to team up with like minds. And we together say, so be it, be and it is. And it'll come faster. And it'll be more. We will have so much, we won't even know what to do with it. Money, good home, friendship, and all walks of life. That's a powerful person that relies on Allah for everything and see Allah in everything. We can do it. I'm about to wrap up here. You can hear the rock and roll music going in the back. And I don't know, that's some local band, I think, playing in the amphitheater. But it's nice out here. It's beautiful. The sun is going down. And I had a good time out here. I was actually closer to that music earlier. Next time I'll go to a different, little distant away. Because people could be a nuisance too. But I'm lucky I got the lav mic here, so it catches most of the stuff on my chest. So you can hear that stuff faint. You know, but family, I wish you well. And look forward for my next live. It will be next Sunday too, but I'll try to get maybe like Wednesday, my sister Sherry. And we do a quick, matter of fact, review of the topic I'm discussing of a healthy self-image, because I said, so be it, be and it is. But you may be getting things, but you ain't got a healthy health image and happiness. What you get may not be what you want. You know, everything that glitter ain't gold. So let's look for the best. Aim for the best and settle on the best. All right, family, I'm glad connecting with you this week. And I just had a little technical difficulty, but other than that, everything is beautiful. Pray that Allah continue to bless us. Pray that He keeps us well focused. So be it, be and it is. I leave you as I greeted you in the ancient Arabic words of peace. Assalamu alaikum. Peace.